Recently I bought the private server game pass. So today, we are going to be testing if private servers are really worth it. To do this, I'll be farming tier 5 bosses in a private server, then farming tier 5 bosses in a public server. Afterwards, I'll compare the loot, and depending on the differences, we'll see if private servers are really worth the 900 robux. Alright, here we are in the private server. We'll be farming every tier 5 boss a total of 4 times, or 20 bosses farmed in total. Then we'll look at all the loot, and go into a public server, to do the same thing. And with the first boss down, we got some pretty decent loot. Boss 2 is Tenjin. Tenjin and Rengoku are definitely the 2 most annoying tier 5 bosses, because they sword clash whenever you M1. And the easiest way to counter that is to just use your fist. So that's what you'll see me doing a lot when fighting these bosses. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Now let's speedrun these bosses and see what loot I get. 20 bosses is around 1 hour of grinding, and in that 1 hour, I would say I got some pretty good loot. Keep in mind I did all of this during increased drops weekend. Anyway, first let's start with daily spins. In total I got 10 daily spins. Pretty good for an hour of grinding. Next I'll move on to materials. In total, I only got 3 ores, which is really bad for 20 bosses. But this is probably just me being unlucky and not the private servers. I also got 3 skinned hides and frost cloths. Now let's go on to potions. The most potions I got was stamina potions at 11. Then there was a tie between regeneration and health potions at a total of 9. Overall pretty good. Next let's go over Haoris. I got 1 Ichimasu Haori, 2 Snow Haoris, 1 Sleeveless Dragon Haori, 1 Black Spider Haori, and 2 Olive Green Haoris. All of these are pretty useless other than the Ichimasu Haori, which gives you 5% more drop rate. For scarves I got 2 Uncertain Time scarves, 1 red scarf, and 2 white scarves. And for necklaces I got 2 beast necklaces, and 1 Keshasiki necklace. Next let's go over the masks. I got 3 Akuma Karenza masks, 2 boar masks, 1 orange Basuto mask, 2 Banigeru masks, 1 panther mask, 1 bandage mask, and 1 Akuma no Ie mask. Extremely mid. The only weapon I got was a scythe. And lastly, the tops I got were 2 Doma tops. By far the best loot I got from the hour of grinding. Here we are in the public server. The main difference between public and private is that you'll be splitting drop percentages with the other people that damage the boss. Whenever a boss is killed, the chance of getting a drop is split between everyone. So if you deal 80% of a boss's health, you have an 80% chance of getting a drop compared to everyone else that deals damage. This makes it even harder to get rare drops, because you need to get lucky with the initial drop rate and the damage split. But let's see if that really matters. Now let's look at the loot I got from the public servers. This time I farmed a total of 22 bosses, 2 more than last time. But let's see if it really made a difference. I got 16 daily spins, 6 more than the private server. But keep in mind, daily spins are purely luck based and aren't affected by boss damage like chest drops. So this is just me being a bit luckier. As for materials, the only thing I got was 4 ores, so I didn't get any polar and devourer materials this time. Next is potions. This time I got more health potions with a total of 7. Then 6 stamina potions and 4 regeneration potions. For Haoris I got 2 Boro Haoris, 2 Shadow Haoris, 1 Yellow Haori, and 1 Sleeveless Dragon Haori. And for scarves, I got 2 Uncertain Times scarves. Lastly as masks, I got 1 Panther mask, 1 Tigress warding mask, and 1 Dark Smoke visor. It's clear I didn't get as much loot compared to private servers even with 2 extra bosses farmed. I got significantly less of everything besides ores and daily spins, which are mainly based on pure luck and aren't altered by boss damage. There were a total of 4 times where I didn't even get anything at all, which didn't happen in the private server. I mean really, all you need to look at is the 2 Supreme Doma tops I got from the private server to see that it's better than a public server. Not only do you get better loot, but you also can farm at your own pace with no distractions. Public servers also have lots of factors that go into getting good or bad loot. You have to be in a server with not too many people farming, and there can't be exploiters or random killers, just to name a few. So, should you buy the private server game pass? Not necessarily. Yes, you have the best chances of getting rare loot in private servers, and can do things like farm boss titles easier, but there is also some cons. The most obvious issue with private servers is its cost. It's the most expensive game pass in Project Slayers at 900 robux, which will be around $10 worth of robux on one game pass. Yes, most of the game passes in Project Slayers are cosmetic or aren't needed, but there are still a few useful ones like set spawn, character slots, and spin animation skip. So at the end of the day, it's really up to you if you want to spend the 900 robux or use it on something else. The second issue is one you'll immediately see. You can only have one private server at a time, meaning you can't generate codes for your friends and both solo grind bosses. You'll have to either grind in a party or not let people in your private server. But those are really the 2 main issues with private servers. There are a few minor ones, like having to wait 15 minutes for bosses to spawn when you join a server, or having to wait around 8 minutes in between boss cycles. But other than that, private servers are pretty beneficial. Speaking from my own experience, I definitely wouldn't have been able to get every boss title without private servers, and it makes boss grinding for videos infinitely easier. So at the end of the day, it's really all up to you. Are you willing to spend the money or not? But if you do end up buying the private server game pass, I promise it will be extremely useful for the entire game. Anyway, that is it for the video. Also make sure to subscribe to my second channel. I'm going to start uploading there too. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to this channel. Bye.